welcome back. So we're going to continue with some more of my PS3 collection. I have them all lined up here. So it's another. I'm afraid it might fall. If it does fall, I'll put that at the end. I'll watch it hit me or something. Anyways, let's get started here. Let me grab this real quick. This one is Dungeon Siege 3. And I'll probably show the game instead. So I'm just going through real quick. I should probably put that out first. I'm just going through real quick here. I'll talk about games that I actually enjoyed. So talk more about games that I actually enjoyed. So we'll just get rolling because that last episode was a little too long. Okay, so next up will be Dynasty Warriors Gundam. It's a Dynasty Warriors game with Gundams in it. It worked out pretty cool. I liked it when it first came out, but I did kind of want to try to get the other ones too. But you know, it's a Dynasty Warriors game. You kind of know when you play it already. So next up will be Enchanted Arms. And you know what? It's an RPG made by Ubisoft. Oh, this way. Ubisoft. It's kind of weird. It looks like a JRPG, and it probably is a JRPG, but it's made by Ubisoft. And I got to sneeze. Whoa. Got the sneezies. Okay, so the next one will be Enslaved. And it's made by the guys who did Heavenly Sword, so it's actually a pretty good game. They make really good games, but the problem with their games is they don't sell. Heavenly Sword sold a lot more than Enslaved, and that was on one system. But at the same time, I don't know why Sony doesn't want to make a new game for that. They did talk about making a new game for Heavenly Sword, not a game, but like a movie or something. So maybe they'll resurrect a part 2 from it. So that'd be cool. Next would be Elder Scrolls Oblivion. I don't have to go through too much of that. You guys probably played a lot of it already, so a lot of people has played it already. Eternal Sonata. Pretty dark stories, like I say. And it is an RPG game too, so. But like I said, the story is a little dark for the way it looks. Yeah, you play as a guy who's dying, or who is dying, and he's telling kind of his story and whatnot, and it's like fairy book kind of way. So, Fallout 3, and this is one of the games that I bought it when it first came out, and then I was like, you know what, I didn't like it. And then I sold it, and then I want to say about a year later, I'm like, you know what, I give it another shot. And it really became one of my favorite games of all time. Or not all time, but it's one of my favorite games on the PS3. Just the fact that I think the atmosphere itself lends a lot to it. When you first step out of the vault, that was pretty cool. I liked that. And then I have all the DLCs for it, so you can tell. Okay, next one will be New Vegas, and it's kind of like what game was that? What was I looking at before? I can't remember, but it is an upgrade from like BioShock. It's a little bit like BioShock. With BioShock 2, it's an upgrade from BioShock 1, but the New Vegas is an upgrade from Fallout 3. But at the same time, you've been in that world already, and just for me at least, it doesn't have that big impact on me. Next one would be Far Cry 2, and actually I don't think I have the case that came with it. I had like a sleeve around this, but I couldn't get into it. it was a little, next one would be, of course, Far Cry 3. I really enjoyed it. I think I was close to beating it. I probably have to get back into it. And I do have I think what's it called, the Blood Dragon DLC. And I haven't even touched that one yet. I did make a video for it, and that's all I did. So I kind of want to get back into that. Let's actually knock out all 3 of these games right here, real quick. First off will be FIFA 09 sports game. Fight Night Round 3 and Fight Night Round 4. So they're all sports games. I don't have to go into detail about them. I'm a big fan of boxing, of course, so the Fight Night Round games are pretty cool. I just gotta fix this real quick. A lot of people like 3 better than 4. I certainly kind of do too, but I like the 4's movement better. The way your fighters move around the ring, that was pretty cool. We could knock both these out real quick too. We got Final Fantasy 13. Yeah, it was an okay game. Not the kind of battle system we thought it would be when they showed that first trailer. We're like, oh my gosh, it's the best. Look awesome. It's gonna look like that. And then when it came over, we're like, no, it doesn't look like that. And it's just the type of, a lot of the Final Fantasy games, they kind of delve into its world a little bit more. Mostly, I enjoyed the most was Final Fantasy X. I love that world. I don't know why. It had a lot of water. It looked gorgeous at that time of the in the PS2 days. And like I said, I couldn't get into the world. The characters were, I didn't have too much problem with the character except for what's her name again, Vanille or something. She was too perky, I guess. And that's pretty much it. The battle system I thought was pretty cool. I did like the fact that you can do a tank character, a DPS character, and a healer, and that was pretty. I like that, more like an MMO type of deal. So, anyways, 10-2. It was better than 13, or not 10-2, 13-2, 10-2, 13-2. It's better than 13, not by much, but I didn't really like the fact that you only had characters that, or your third character is a monster. I didn't really like that. I wish you actually had a group of main cast, but whatever. And then from the looks of Lightning's return, maybe you just play as Lightning. Who knows? I'm definitely going to buy that. Of course, it's a Final Fantasy game. I had to buy a Final Fantasy game. But I did beat 13 and 13-2. I came close. I was literally just like Dark Souls. I was literally at the end, like I was like getting ready to go there. It was about the same time as I was playing Dark Souls, and when my hard drive crashed, all gone. So maybe after a while I'll come back and visit. But as of right now, I have no motivation to play. Folklore. It's a pretty nifty game with the 6 axes. You have to move it left and right when you're fighting. You steal their souls. Was it souls? I haven't played this in a long time. And then you actually get to keep it as a monster. So it was pretty cool. You just whip them with a little leash and you bounce it back and forth, and that was pretty cool. And the story is a little weird. It's a pretty dark looking game too. It has like in the morning it's real people, and then during the nighttime it changes into like a undead. The city changes to like an undead place. So I probably shouldn't go into more because I don't really know much about it. It's been a while, like I said. Okay, next, get through there quick. Genji, Days of the Blade. Is this the one with the giant enemy crab? I don't remember. It's been a while, and I was never a big Genji fan. I just bought it because actually it wasn't actually cheap. I bought it for $39, and it was a cruddy cover too. And that's the only one that had the GameStop. So I was like, I might as well buy it. And then the next day, I went to a different GameStop and they had it there, and it was a better cover for about $19. And I was like, damn it! Not the next day, but like a month later or something like that. Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter. Nope, I got nothing to say. We'll just keep going. God of War 3. I have the inserts in, covers inside. So, like I said, I just said that, but I never played a God of War game until this. So, it's probably my favorite one. and I can't really go back and play God of War 1 and 2. I tried it. I did have the games. I think I sold it, but I had the collections of where they had the HD collections for 1 and 2, and I tried going back, but you already know what the story is going to be, and that doesn't help too much. I wish those came out before, and I wish I would have bought them on the PS2 instead, because I would have played it before, and my loss there. Next is Grand Theft Auto 4. We all know Grand Theft Auto 4, one of the best games that generate. Not for me. No. I thought it was pretty boring. I wish they went, with the real physics and whatnot. It made it a little rough, but I just can't. I think, well, actually, it's probably the stupidest thing people would say, and I think it's stupid too, but what really got me into, or really kept me playing in the Grand Theft Auto games were the music. I love, listening to their radio stations and just love it. 80s with Vice City, the 80s, then with San Andreas with the 90s. That music right there is perfect, and then a lot of the songs from 3 were catchy. That's all I can say. And 4 just didn't have the type of music that I enjoyed. And that really just, and couples with a lot of the gameplay mechanics and whatnot, it just didn't go too well with me. But next would be Liberty City, and they kind of went back into, they had 2 different games, of course. This is the one that came out on 360, and it came out as DLC first, downloadable DLC, and they actually came out on 360, like maybe 6 months before it came out on the PS3. It might have been around there, and when it came out for the PS3, it actually came out as a disc, and then it eventually came out as DLC, downloadable DLC. But I bought the disc version. It comes with the Lost in the Dam and the Battle of Gay Tony. I actually enjoyed the Battle of Gay Tony, so that's a good one. My brother actually likes Lost in the Dam. He thought that was a pretty good one too. So we're kind of opposite on that one. Next we have GT5 Prologue. It's a demo. That's all I'm gonna say. Guitar Hero World Tour. I wasn't too big of a Guitar Hero fan, so I was more of the Rock band because they have cool instruments and whatnot. And then Guitar Hero finally followed them, but by that time, I got into the Guitar Hero and the Rock band. They were already dying off, so too bad, too sad for me. Next one would be Haze. Everybody knows what Haze is. Dude, people call it before it came out, the Halo Killer? I don't remember that. I was excited for it because it was during that time when PS3 had nothing. We had nothing to play. I mean, we had some games, but they were like, oh, yeah, there, man. And then when we saw the game, they were like, oh, they were pimping it out to be this cool game where you could do all this stuff. Like, I remember like throwing knives into their back and exploding. I'm like, that's cool. And then when you played it, it wasn't certainly a bad game. It was just, and this word is kind of, it's been overused, but it's very generic, and it doesn't do anything bad, but it doesn't do anything good, and it just doesn't pull itself away from a lot of the shooters during that time. So fortunately, that's where it got its bad rap from, including somebody said it was a Halo killer, and it doesn't help too much. Next one would be Heavy Rain. I came close to beating it. Thought the story was pretty good. I think it was during the time when I was just buying a bunch of games and trying out a bunch of games, and I just got lost. It just got lost in the shuffle, and I kind of want to go back into it, and I probably will before Beyond Two Souls come out. So I definitely want to, at least try to get. And I know they don't. There's the story's not the same, but I just kind of want to beat it anyways. Next would be Heavenly Sword. It's really, like I said, the really first God of War game I played, and it's technically almost the same as God of War, other than she uses, which I enjoy the most. She uses martial arts, so that's better than I'm a big fan of Kratos too, but just the brutality of Kratos himself. But I like more the agile character, and that was pretty. I like and martial arts, so that was pretty cool. And it had like a kind of an Asian Chinese kind of lore to it too, so. And yes, I am Asian. So here is Homefront. And I did buy a used, so what I remember from what people, I haven't played too much of it, and this cover is dirty. Come on, people, take care of your games, please. Yeah, it's like Call of Duty. Call of Duty, that's all I can say. With a Red Dawn kind of story, with the Koreans coming and attacking us. So, next one, Hyperdimensional Neptunia. I got a glare. Oh shoot! I should turn off this light right here. Anyways, Hyperdimensional Neptunia. Like this more. This is the first one. Yes, it is the first one. I enjoyed this one a lot better than the other two because I like the battle system. It's faster than Mark II and Victory, and that's the reason why I liked it. But yeah, and I actually did beat that one. I spent maybe 80 hours playing it. Wow, for that type of game, that's the first time I actually did 80 hours. Hyperdimensional. Next one, Hyperdimensional Neptunia Mark II, and it's just a continuation from this one. What the story is you have different consoles that fought in different. They're consoles, like there's a PlayStation console, a Nintendo console, and a Xbox console, and they all control a territory, and you play as, I think this one was the Neptune, which I think it was Sega's game console it was in prototype and just never came out, and you played as that, and then you go and recruit everybody, and yeah, RPG, turn-based RPG, I should say. Next one would be Infamous. Like I said, I'm a big fan of comic books, and I loved it. That's all I can say. Electricity powers and whatnot, with a really comic book story, and the ending, like I say, blew my mind. I love the ending. Next one would be Infamous 2. I am looking forward to the First Son? I think that's what it's called. Infamous First Son that's coming out for PS4. We'll see what happens with his Nightcrawler-ish powers and whatnot. Anyways, Infamous 2. I enjoyed the world better than Infamous 1, but the storyline wasn't as great. Mostly the ending. I guess because you could pick what kind of ending you wanted. And yeah. Jericho, Clive Barker's Jericho. Yeah, I did buy it new. I actually bought it new. It is a freaky game. That's all I can say. If you know who Clive Barker is, yeah, it's quite creepy. Jericho is real creepy. So, we'll go with Kane and Lynch, Dead Man. I tried playing it. I can't play it because it's kind of weird. The controls are a little weird, and it's a really early game. So, And then my next one would be Kane and Lynch 2, Dog Days. And we'll just keep rolling. Killzone 2. And I actually enjoyed the Killzone series. Mostly the multiplayer for Killzone 2. I like that. And a lot of people gave it flack for, its controls. I actually like that weighted control. Like, you're, heavy and you're, because, first of all, you're all armored up already. So, I enjoyed how it looked. Or how it felt, and it actually looked pretty good. Of course, it didn't look like the target rendering that we saw during the E3, press conference, but that's okay with that. It came close, somewhat close. Killzone 3, boop, 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 boop. And it is a step up from, at least story-wise, it's a step up from Killzone 2, but at the same time, they turned the controls into more of a Call of Duty, look. Or feel, and it just kind of broke away from that. It's like, why should I play Killzone 3 when I can play Call of Duty? So, Kingdoms of Amalur, The Reckoning, and what can I say? Oh, I didn't really enjoy the art style. I wasn't a big fan of it, but you know, good games. Good game's a good game. It's not great. It's just a good game, and you know if you're a big fan of RPG like Skyrim and all that, it comes close to that, and it has a pretty cool fighting system. So, Knight's Contract will be the next one, and it's not that good. I said, $17. That's way too much. Oh my gosh, it's gonna fall. That's stacking. I'm gonna stack him up somewhere else. Okay. So next one would be LA Noire. This is probably the game where my brother and I were probably the most interested in, and because he's a big fan of those crime dramas and all that. Well, more like Criminal Minds and all that, but also come with this little cool package here. But trying to solve crimes was cool, and you had to go and look for evidence here and there, and sometimes you can miss some, and it changes how when you interrogate the murderers or the suspects. It changes some of the, not changes, but it gives you more choices or options, and yeah, but it just became repetitive after that because we went from drive to this area and then chase the guy, take him down. Okay, go to the next area. Oh, let me talk to you real quick. Chase the guy, he runs away. It just became too tedious. I actually enjoyed a lot of the crime solving you had to do in here. If the game was just all that, I think it would have been perfect for me at least. Or they could throw in a few missions that only had the action scenes where you go out and arrest somebody. But if they kept it, with just you solving murder mysteries and all that, that would have been perfect for me at least. The next one, Lair, yes, dragons, dragon riding, 6-axis control, and when they failed to, was it Factor 5? I think that's what they closed down right after they made this game too. So yeah, Factor 5, and which sucks because I thought it was a pretty decent game. Once they patched it for the controller, I thought it was a decent game, and the problem a lot of people had with it, they had really tough, not tough, but had troubles with his technical side. I mean, he had slowdowns everywhere. The frames would drop heavily, and those type of games you kind of want it to be at least 30, because there's so much things. And the problem was they had a lot of things going around. You can land and swipe at people. There's like hundreds of people on the ground, and you do all that. You go in the air, and I'm not a big fan of flying in the air because I get a little, I guess, sick. Next one will be Little Big Planet. And you know what? It's pretty cool. I mean, Little Big Planet, it's a good game if you know how to make stages. Stages. Because it really brings the creative side into, building your own. You've seen Mario stages in here. You've just seen all those stuff. And it's a good game for, the younger audience because just the way it looks and whatnot. And, like I said, it's at least for me. And I'm not saying I don't enjoy the look of it, but like it just felt like if you were to play the game 100%, you would probably want to be the person creating levels, and I'm not that creative and I suck at that kind of stuff. So yeah, other than that, you can do trophy hunting in there. There's stages where it sets up where you can just get all the trophies, or get a certain type of trophy. And I don't know if they took that off, but yeah. Lollipop Chainsaw will be the next one. It's a pretty weird game. That's all I can say. A girl whose family is a kind of like almost like a monster hunter type. They hunt down different types of monsters, and whatnot, and we have a zombie outbreak, and she goes chainsawing them. So, Lord of the Rings, War of the North is the next one. And what can I say? It's an action game. You play as, either a kind of like a thief type ranger. Actually, it's a ranger. Ranger, a mage, and a dwarven warrior. So, and it's an action game, and you can play through it. It has like loots and stuff, levels and stuff. So, it's pretty cool. I play a little bit of it. Like I said, I don't play too much. These games. I have so many games that I just get a taste of some small ones. And if it's a good game, I actually will play more of it. But if it's a kind of type of game, I'll try to get back to it. And wow, Madden 08 and 09. I had to get 09. I'm a big Brett Favre fan. I was born in Madison, Wisconsin, so of course I had to be a Packers fan. So, and I had to get that because on the cover. Come on, son. 2 more left. We have Meg, and actually it was a pretty cool game. After a lot of the fixes they had with it, it was pretty cool. It had different. I think was it 60 v 60. It's a first-person shooter, so it's kind of like Battlefield. You guard a spot, and you have the opposite team coming to take over that area. So it was pretty cool. Having all those people in one little map. Fortunately, you don't see them all sometimes because sometimes they split you up into different parts of the map where you do your own objective. But a lot of the lower ones, I don't remember too much. I think. Oh shoot. I don't even I have it flipped around. 60 v 60. This is 100 v 100. There's different like 20 v 26, 30 v 30. So it was a pretty cool game. It did horrible, as I can tell you. Zipper developed with the guys who did SOCOM, and we'll see a few SOCOM games that I have later. Then the last one for this pile will be Mass Effect 2. Really enjoyed it. I have to say, one of the better games, or at least Mass Effect games. 3 was pretty good. I enjoyed 3, but it had almost the same premise as 2. And I'll go and gather my people, and then we're gonna beat up some dudes. And I do have the first one, but I have that on my PlayStation, actually, PS3. I downloaded that because I don't think I wanted to buy the collection, and I don't spend another $30, $40. I don't remember what the price was, $30 on the collections. But anyways, that is done for. Was part 3 of my PS3 collection. I have one more, so actually, we'll do one more for that. I do have a few games that are still stacked on top of it, but we're just going to finish that out and get that done with so I can start on my other collections, my PS2 next. And then once my PS2 is done, I'll probably just do that. I could do that in 1 or 2. We'll see how that goes. And then I have my PlayStation, and that's pretty much it. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave a comment if you guys have any questions about any games. Any one of these. I play them all, or at least some of them, so I can give a little bit of insight of them. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys like my videos. I do have a lot of Dragon's Dogma, The Dark Arisen. I'm just going to call it The Dark Arisen. I keep saying that. And Hajime no Ippo for the PS2. And those would be my 2 main games I'll be playing. So, anyways, everybody have a great night, and I'll see you guys tomorrow or next day or whatever day it is. Peace.